Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
Hey, welcome, y'all, to another great episode of the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day, whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz. Look, we're diving deep and keeping it real, so please do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. My friends, on today's conversation, we're going to talk about Puffy, Sean Diddy, Combs, Diddy, all the other P Diddy, all the names that he has had in his career. Was recently sentenced. As you all know, he has been in the news for quite some years, not for the good, but for the opposite of that. And so he was recently sentenced. We'll talk about it here on the Arrington Gavin Show. In addition to that, we are going to continue. We're going to discuss also some elected officials. One very popular former Democrat who's announcing she is going to be making a comeback in Congress to take back her seat. We'll talk about that later on in the program, as well as probably one of the most prolific and popular former presidents of our lifetime, Barack Obama, says exactly what's wrong. You know, the reasons why we have world problems. He says there's too many old men out there that won't give up power, and that's why we have all these issues. So we're going to talk about it, y'all, here on the Arrington Gavin Show. As always, thank you so much for taking 1 hour of your time to tune in to yet another great conversation. For those who happen to be watching us right now on YouTube, do me a favor, like, subscribe, share with a friend, share with family. I truly appreciate it. If you can do that, we want to keep that momentum going, keep that positive algorithm and great momentum continue. We every day, y'all, we witness new subscribers. We see an increase in our viewerships as well. So for one, I want to thank you. Two, let's keep it going. Look, I get feedback from folks that agree with me, folks that disagree with me. And look, you have the right to share your opinion, what you think about me, what I say. At the end of the day, look, I respect opinions. We can agree to disagree. And that's what we want to continue to promote here. Civil dialogue, agree to disagree, respect each other's opinions, and then we can, keep it moving. So again, like, subscribe our YouTube channel. I truly appreciate that. You can also watch us on GOATverse TV. You can check out past episodes on demand of the Arrington Gavin Show on GOATverse TV. Do me a favor, download the app now if you have not done so yet. Download the GOATverse TV app. It's available on the App Store, Google Play Store, Roku, as well as Amazon Fire TV. So it's an awesome app, black owned, black media, okay, independently owned, and it's filled with so many amazing programs and content, including yours truly. So we want to I would appreciate if you can support that platform. Now, in addition to watching us, you can also listen to us on the go wherever you get your podcasts. We're available on all major podcast platforms, and you can also listen to us on the radio airwaves. Shout out to some of our radio partners like WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about. You can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights at 7 p.m. Central Time, only on WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about. Then we're going to fast forward. We're going to move it on to the metro Atlanta area to WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk. That's right, WDJY 99.1 Straight Talk. You can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes, so shout out to our affiliates, man, and I thank them for allowing us to stretch our audience and continue to change the narrative and give you great conversation, great content, and keep you up to speed of what's happening in our world, in the political space, sports, and entertainment as well. So, look, my friends, before we get going, I have two things I want to share. I have a Black Excellence report as well as a fun fact. So let's start off with our quick fun fact here. On today's fun fact, did you all know? Did you all know that in the that let's see, since 1898, Puerto Rico has been a U.S. territory. The United States acquired it from Spain after the Spanish American War through the Treaty of Paris, signed on December 10th of 1898. The U.S. officially took possession on April 11th, 1899. That means Puerto Rico has been a U.S. territory for about 126 years as of 2025. So, fun fact there, and you'll notice, you'll realize why I decided to make that a fun fact to discuss why that's a fun fact. Now, look, let me go ahead on and share a Black Excellence report. Give me 1 second here as I pull up our Black Excellence report. Do I have it? Yes, there we go. So, on our Black Excellence report, I want to shout out the current CEO of Red Lobster. That's right. The current CEO officially, Red Lobster officially exits bankruptcy under the 35-year-old CEO leadership. Gentleman's name is Demola Adam. Ooh, that is an interesting last name. Hold on. Adamolican, Demola Adamolican, 36-year-old CEO of Red Lobster. After it had been some time that Red Lobster was possibly closing down, he took realm of the 57-year-old seafood chain, and it was said that let's see here. Says here, he flipped PF Chang into a billion-dollar brand during the pandemic, has been steering Red Lobster into what he calls the greatest comeback in the history of restaurant industry. Says here that the Nigerian American executive, who also made Fortune 100's most powerful people in business list, is cutting his efficiencies, axing money losing promos by endless shrimp, and setting the chain up for the positive net income by 2026. Projected 43%. Okay, 43%. EBITDA growth through 2027. As he told Fortune, investing is a risk assessment. You got to manage your career the same way. Risk isn't bad if you've got the right return. I want to shout out. I really do want to shout out the CEO, because look, I'll be honest, I have witnessed so many historic food chains that they're still running, but it's like you're barely making it, right? I'm not gonna say which ones, but I can recall in my hometown when we say the grand opening, when that chain restaurant was coming here, and and um and so when those restaurants came about, it's like, oh wow, we got this, it's gonna be dope, this gonna be dope, and you're like, no, however could this restaurant ever go out of business? What? But it's important, y'all, and this is for the business owners, that you gotta strong on your, stay true to your strong points of why folks come to you, right? What benefits, right? I always say, as a business owner myself, loyalty is everything. Loyalty is everything. And I'm a big believer of this, if it's not, oh, I can't get my words out, Arrington. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Okay, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So we see time and time again, businesses wanting to rebrand, doing these new strategies. Sometimes when it ain't, if it's nothing wrong with it, don't try and rebrand it. Same like what's the tea? Arizona tea, 99 cents. The founder said, "Why change it? It's a part of our marketing tool. Is keeping us in business. We never saw a downfall. We've always seen success. It benefits. It benefits. So again, I've seen so many chain restaurants come and go, and some of them that are just struggling that we used to be at the top that are no longer. So for that, I want to congratulate the CEO on his success and give this man a raise. That's what I say. Give that man a raise. All right, my friends. Look, you are listening to the Arrington Gavin Show. Thank you so much for staying with us here. Look, we're gonna take a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere because we got a lot more show for you here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Be right back after these commercial breaks.
Order your beard care products with Rugged Evolution. We're your local beard care line that supports the maintenance of your full, mature beard. Our line includes conditioning shampoos, moisturizers, balms, oils, shaving lotions, and exfoliating soaps. These products moisturize, hydrate, nourish, and have all the natural ingredients for a healthy beard. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to
And we still in traffic.
Don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up.
Yeah, this that new Gold Verse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of the app he said?
Introducing GoatVerse TV.
GoatVerse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In Goats, we trust.
Every man has a story to tell. Your ambitions, your achievements, your legacy. Your suit should reflect that story, crafted precisely, designed for impact, and tailored exclusively for you. We work with only the finest fabrics, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends from world-renowned mills in Italy, the UK, and India. These fabrics are the foundation of custom suits that exude elegance and stand the test of time. But a suit isn't just about fabric, it's about fit, and it's about confidence, and it all starts with you. When you work with me, you'll receive a personalized consultation, whether in person or over Zoom. Together, we'll explore your vision and discuss your needs. And we're gonna bring your ideas to life. My journey as a designer includes apprenticing under New York-based designer Clavon Leonard, showcasing collections at New York Fashion Week, Algeria Fashion Week, and the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. That experience is what we bring to every suit we create, from weddings to corporate events and everything in between. We specialize in crafting one-of-a-kind suits for life's most significant moments. Dapper Luke has been recognized as one of Baltimore's best menswear in 2023, and I was honored to be one of the 10 designers selected for the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. With over 900 satisfied clients, we proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore, bringing world-class designs to these incredible communities. We don't just make suits, we craft confidence. Your suit will fit your body, your style, and it will tell your story. Book your free online personal consultation today. Visit www.dapperluke.com.
All right, my friends, welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. I am your host, your friend Arrington Gavin, here on this wonderful evening. Look, I want to continue on to discuss billionaire Elon Musk, his boycott on Netflix and his reason why he, for one, is boycotting, why he says they are a danger to society, and why they are not just a danger to society, but they are a danger to the children. Okay, so Elon Musk had recently made a post on social media showing a how would you say it was on his social media, on his X platform. He had shared, if I can find it here, let's see, trying to find it. Give me a second here. I lost my place. He has shared on his X platform. Now, by the way, this man is supposed to be an advocate for free speech, but nope. He had to speak his mind on this one. He shared on his X platform, cancel Netflix for the health of your kids. Okay. He quoting another user meme depicting Netflix transgender woke agenda as a Trojan horse entering a fortress labeled as your kids. Okay. He mentions some of their TV shows that had that were kid related TV shows that was showing a transgender character, which he did not appreciate. In addition to that, and on some other shows like Coco Melon, The Babysitter's Club. He also has supported claims of an alleged anti-white hiring by Netflix and criticizing the Democratic Party donations by company execs. Okay, so again, I'm trying to always put this in my mind or put this in perspective. So you're the richest man in the world. You literally have a stat sheet saying how many they have an anti-white hiring over at Netflix. What? Like, I mean, now he's just continue on being just a grifter of some sort. I mean, it's just listen, Elon Musk. And I was never a fan personally. I truly never cared, uh, about there was nothing ever entertaining or fun. All I knew was like, hey, this is the richest man in the world. Okay, whoop de doo. But he made himself more known now politically because he bought X, right? He bought X because he felt like the platform was biased against those who probably just didn't agree with those in leadership. So he bought that to say, hey, this is a free speech platform, which X then turned on to be mostly a conservative outlet. Now, there's still a variety of viewerships on X. Hell, I'm on X, right? But he has been this free speech, in my opinion, free speech voice for the right. He's endorsed Donald Trump. They then went on to have their little back and forth little pity party where they were arguing back and forth, and now I guess they're back to being cool. He's just been a true critic of the left, and now he's saying that Netflix as a whole needs to go. He ended his subscription, and he's like saying Netflix needs to go. Now, here's my thing. I think there's more to it than this. I think probably he's just mad because, like all wealthy people, he wish he can buy Netflix. He really wish he could buy Netflix, and they're probably like saying, "Hey, well, look, we're not for sale." So he's like, "Let me put this out," because it just came out of random. This just really came out randomly. For how long Netflix has been on? You're just now coming out with like, "Oh, they're so anti. They're woke. They're anti-white hiring." And they're a danger to the children. So obviously, Netflix has declined to comment on Musk's campaign because Netflix no longer reports subscriber numbers on a quarterly basis. The impact of the Musk-led boycott may be difficult to quantify. Now, recently, Musk wrote quoting a user's comment saying that transgender propaganda isn't just quietly lurking in the background on Netflix. They are actively pushing it on users. Okay. Then he went on to respond to a conservative podcaster, Benny Johnson's post, which Benny Johnson said the real reason the Netflix cancellation campaign has gone so viral. Netflix is sexualizing children by packing explicit, graphic, radical sex topics as children's children's entertainment. What Netflix is doing goes beyond a culture war fight. It's immoral and it should be illegal. Y'all, I don't have children, so these are for the parents out here. Have y'all ever seen anything too much on your children's kids programs? Because for one, Netflix has a parental guide, right? They have a restriction where I think they have like a kids only Netflix section, right, or sign on. So they're all children's shows. I mean, where are we going with this here? Now, I remember hearing an old story of Snoop Dogg had took his grandchild to see the recent Buzz Lightyear movie. And in that Buzz Lightyear movie, they had a same-sex couple, okay? Honestly, I saw the movie. It wasn't insane. It wasn't like, oh, look in the face. It literally was, they were slowly putting out, in my opinion, they slowly had mentioned that, hey, look, there are in our world, right? Again, we live in a melting pot. We have a variety of variety of religions, people with different, we have same-sex couples, we have straight couples, we have folks that are members of the LGBTQ community that are parents, okay? But now you might have children that from a straight couple that might have friends that their parents are members of the LGBTQ, and they're like, the little kid might have questioned. The same-sex couple cannot say anything really to another parent's child. It's up to that parent to say, hey, look, this is, you're going to come across this exists, this X, Y, and Z, right? It's about preparation. It's about preparation. It's not shoving stuff in their faces. Because do you rather keep stuff quiet until, I'm assuming they're a certain age? Because then what is that age to start with, right? It's just like the conversation on what's the right age to talk about the birds and the bees. I feel like each and every day the age gets lower and lower and lower. Why? Because the access of social media. Kids are clever, all right? You prohibit them from seeing something, they're going to see it one way or the other. And so, in my opinion, and again, I'm no parent, I'm an uncle. I'm a fun uncle, but I'm an uncle. How do you prepare your children for society? Again, I remember seeing the Lightyear movie, and all it did was open the door. It showed showed a character that, grown up, now a parent, and a parent that happens to be her wife. Well, she happened to have a wife, so it showed that, oh, she is a lesbian. Okay, that was it. It didn't show them kissing, making out. It showed them embracing each other with a hug and holding their child. Boom, that was it. Literally was maybe like 5 to 10 seconds. Literally was like 5 to 10 seconds. Okay. Now, I don't know anything about the Coco Melon and all these other little children's programs, but at the end of the day, I doubted that these children programs literally will put it in their faces and will spend more than 30 minutes straight talking about something that is a bit graphic for children. I guarantee you. Okay. I guarantee you. So all of this is a big ass distraction. Okay. It's a distraction from the growth in the United States. Okay. The growth that, look, I get it. There's going to be some uncomfortable conversation that you have to tell your child, but the world is about being uncomfortable. In order to be successful, you got to do what? You got to fall. That's why I get so sick. I keep on going off the rails with, discussing the good and the bad of American history in schools. Like the fact that you have states that want to prohibit certain black historic stories in the classroom so that other children won't feel bad. Who said they will feel bad? Hell, I don't even know if they even pay attention, depending on how interesting the teacher is. Because if the teacher is boring, they're gonna be like, look, I'm ready to go. Let me just pass this grade, get on out of here. Boom, call it Christmas. Y'all, that's the world we live in. That's the world we live in. Again, now here's the interesting thing here. Here's the interesting thing. So Elon Musk has a transgender child, who in 2022 changed her name and gender. In an interview in July of last year, Musk said, I lost my son, essentially, and said he had been tricked into improving gender affirming care for I think the child's name is Vivian, for Vivian. According to Musk, she was dead, killed by the woke mind virus. In a serious post on Meta's Threads, responding to her father's comments about her, Vivian Wilson said in part, he doesn't know what I was like as a child, because he quite simply wasn't there, and in the little time that I was relentlessly harassed for my femininity and my queerness. Now, this is all reported from variety.com if you want to check out this story. Again, it's sad. It's sad to say. I mean, it's sad that this is occurring in his family, and I hope that him and his child can rekindle a relationship. And just, I mean, I know is more important to have each other rather than have this back and forth. Do my stance on certain discussions is when it comes to LGBTQ conversations. I do think that there should be conversations in regards to, of the, of the parent and the child, right? At the end of the day, that's up to you what goes on behind your closed doors. If y'all want to decide how you manage or maneuver, that's one thing. But to go on social media like he did and say, he lost his, I mean, that's it's a bit, that's a bit, I think, inappropriate to share with the public. I really do think so. So in that case, is this his way of saying, "Hey, look, Netflix, shame on you because you're the cause of what happened to my child. You're the cause of what happened to my child." Is this just him saying anything that involves speaking about transgender? He just gonna automatically say we need to ban this, we need to ban that. I mean, who like what else is there to say? And then lastly, before I leave from this story, comedian and conservative actor and comedian Rob Schneider wrote on X, "Dear Elon Musk, thank you for standing up against the evil trans indoctrination programming of our children on Netflix and Disney, adding, God bless you, sir." First of all, Rob Schneider is continue to kiss the tail of anybody that will give him a job. Okay. I I went to a comedy show maybe a year and a half, maybe I'll say maybe a year or and some change. And we went to go see Rob Schneider. He was in town. Look, I respect the comedy genre. I've seen movies in Rob Schneider. Funny dude, right? For the past, I'll say 4 or 5 years, he's been on this, this anti woke, this strong conservative leaning tour, even bringing that into his comedy. And so, and he's using it as his way of him rebranding himself. He's had a comedy special on Fox Nation. He's doing more films with mostly conservative messaging and writers and things like that. And so when I was at that concert, I'm not gonna lie, Rob Schneider spoke on one theme for a long, long time, and that was LGBTQ jokes for a long time. For a long time. Now, there was an individual sitting behind me that I believe that was a member of the LGBTQ community, and all you heard was their friend saying, "Are you okay? Are you okay? Do you need to leave? Do you need to?" And then it was a moment where they left, or they left and they came back. And in my opinion, you always have to be aware of who you're gonna see in especially as a comedian. So, I mean, you should have already been aware of what you were going to witness. And look, sometimes is brave enough for an individual that says, "Look, I there." Hopefully, he just shares 2-3 minutes of it, and then the rest are funny jokes because I'm here to enjoy the genre. But instead, he extended this whole. So I'll say this, y'all: is this an attack on the LGBTQ community, or is this simply a person who truly cares about children and saying, "Hey, look, this is a bit too much. I think you're turning our children into you're rushing the age of our children in a sense. They shouldn't be at that age to really know about or talk about these conversations, these topics. Like wait for a certain age and then we can discuss. But right now they're a little too young to talk about this. Is that the case here? Because at some point that was a conversation, but as I mentioned, we live in a very versatile society where that exists. So a 5-year-old or a 4-year-old is the child of a same-sex couple. So again, like let's talk about a same, again, just as much as somebody might talk about tell their kid, hey, look, about a interracial couple, because that was at one point, that wasn't allowed in America, and at one point, same-sex marriage wasn't allowed in America. So we'll continue to see how this boycott goes. But I'll tell you one thing: if out of all the streaming platforms that my wife and I have, Netflix is always gonna be number one. I'm sorry, Netflix is always gonna be number one. Netflix got all the best shows, best movies, best comedy specials. Now they're doing the live things now and stuff. So, and hey, now you got Raw on Netflix. So come on now, come on, Musk. Nice try, but no cigar, my friend, no cigar. All right, my friends, let's go ahead and digress from that story, and I want to move it on to a very funny. Let me see here. Let's see. Let me show you this funny clip here. So this is conservative. Uh, uh conservative political commentator Tomi Lahren. She recently had on oh man, what was her name? She's from Breaking Point's Crystal. There we go. Crystal Ball. She's one of the co-hosts of Breaking Points with Crystal and Sagar. And she's a progressive political commentator, and she was recently on Tomi Lahren's program that's on Outkick. And Tomi Lahren truly made a fool of herself. And let me see if I can find that soundbite for you all. Here we go. Listen to this here.
Thing I want to talk to you about is because I'm about ready to do my commentary on it. But do you think Bad Bunny is a good choice for the Super Bowl?
I'm not that knowledgeable about him, but it seems fine, and I don't know why it's a big deal. Seems like a great American artist, so sure.
He's not an American artist, but
he's Puerto Rican. That's part of America, dear.
Yeah. Last thing I want to talk to you.
I mean, again, this is the problem with America. This is the problem with and not all, but this is the big problem with conservative media and the position that they hold in America, is because you have folks like this person continuing to divide and to say, I want to continue to share the talking points of what the right is telling me to say, regardless of it makes me look like a fool. Let me tell you something. Tomi Lahren just flat out said, Bad Bunny's not American. Bad Bunny's American. And Crystal so poised said, he's Puerto Rican. Puerto Rican is U.S. territory, has been for, you heard earlier, 126 years. For 126 years, Tommy. But I guess that you're just not a fan with that. You are like, nope. That doesn't make them American. That doesn't make them American. I mean, give me a effing break. Like, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. And it's just so interesting because now, of course, social media has been going ham on Tomi Lahren because she's always been a very controversial individual. She started off, I think she was on the Blaze, and she's grew her career in the conservative media space now with Fox and Outkick, which is owned by Fox. And and then it was funny because I repeat the quote from Ball. She said, he's Puerto Rican. That's part of America, dear. That's part of American dear is like, ooh, and on your own show, ooh, ouch. That one burns. That one stings. That one stings right there. The full debate is which posted on Lauren's YouTube channel received thousands of comments, with those at the top slamming the right-wing podcaster. One said, Tommy didn't know Puerto Rico is part of the USA. You can't make this up. Ha ha ha. That comment with over 2,000 likes, by the way. Another person said, this feels like a seventh grader debating their teacher. Another one said, crazy how this is Tommy's channel and her own comments section seems to unanimously agree with that she lost the debate. Yeah. You think? Okay. In addition to that, the interaction also went viral on TikTok, with several users stitching the interaction and making their own edits at Laren's expense. Laren did not argue after her guest noted Bad Bunny is American, but moved on to slam the artist's critique on ICE. However, Ball countered that America agrees with him on that. Let's see here. Ball went on to say, I mean, a majority of Americans think ICE has gone too far. They've watched videos of the 79-year-old business owners being slammed, which I think I might have posted on our social media. Y'all can take a look at it. But this 79-year-old man was slammed to the ground, arm bruised up. We've seen videos of ICE agents forcefully pushing females in the hallways. I mean, it's a bit much. It's a bit much in my opinion. She says, so I think that American people are probably on board with the message at this point. A number of polls conducted over the summer suggested that Trump's immigration policies are incredibly unpopular amongst adult U.S. citizens. Despite the data, Lauren denied Ball's assertion, telling her, well, whoever you're talking to, I'm sure is. I'm not so sure the rest of the country is. Again, taking the L because she realized she was dead wrong to say that he's not American. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Puerto Rico's a part of the America, United States? I feel like that's something that Trump will say. You're telling me Puerto Rico is American? I beg to differ. He's not American. He's not American. He is Puerto Rican. All right. Okay. That's not true. All right. He is Puerto Rican, and last time I checked, Puerto Rican and American, that's two different places. All right. Mr. President, though, it's been a part of the U.S. for 126 years. What? 126 years? Let me look at those stats. It's fake news. That's fake. It's not real. It's woke. It's a witch hunt. That's that woke stuff. It's not true. Not at all. That's literally like, remember that time when the president sat down with a oh gosh, I believe the president was from, oh man, I'm blanking on which country he was visiting from, but he was saying, your English is so good. It's so good. Where'd you learn to speak that? Not knowing that English was their first language. They happen to just have an accent. Like, just help me, Jesus. Help me. It is a lot. It is a lot, man. That's all I gotta say. It's a lot. And it continues to embarrass those that will continue to criticize that continue to criticize and moan and groan about Bad Bunny being the halftime performer. Like, it's just it's sad, y'all. It's sad. It truly is. That article that I was reading recently, well, that article that I was reading was from the Huffington Post. And so right then and there it has been the subject of the season. It has been the debate that we will continue to speak on until they have the Super Bowl, really. And there was another soundbite because there was also mention that they possibly might be ICE agents at the Super Bowl due to they're looking at hey, Bad Bunny will rally a lot of his supporters who are from Puerto Rico. So the administration looks like, oh, this is a great opportunity to let's go ahead and go in. Let me share you one of the members from the Trump administration was on. I believe he was on Benny Johnson's program. Let me see if I can find that for. There we go. DHS advisor warns undocumented immigrants here. Cori Lewandowski, an advisor at the Department of Homeland Security.
Police have enforcement at the Super Bowl for the Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime show? Benny, there is nowhere that you can provide safe haven to people who are in this country illegally, not the Super Bowl and nowhere else. We will find you. We will apprehend you. We will put you in a detention facility and we will deport you. So know that that is a very real situation under this administration, which is completely contrary to how it used to be.
ICE having.
You know what's interesting? Is this just me? But we're seeing a lot of administrators, members of this administration speaking mostly with conservative podcasters and not actually, I don't know, going on the mainstream legacy news outlets. Isn't that pretty interesting? I think that's quite interesting. I just wanted to point that out. I mean, set aside the fact that it's only conservative media that you'll mostly hear them talk the most, because they, I'm pretty sure, refuse to be on left-leaning or any programs where they know that they're going to get pressed or criticized, which is unfair in my opinion to the American people. But let me look at my time here. Let's go ahead and let me see. Let's do one more story here. So I mentioned about former President Barack Obama publicly sharing that the reason that there is issues in this world is because old men won't hang it up. Old men won't hang it up. It's reported by Complex here. It says former President Barack Obama took aim at aging leaders, saying the world's biggest crises are often fueled by men clinging to power. Now, former president, all due respect, it's not just men, it's women too. Because Nancy ain't no youngin. Maxine Waters ain't no youngin. All right. The U.S. Senator out of Alaska is no youngin. The senator out of Maine is no young. I mean, there's countless of. First of all, and y'all know I'm. You can call me ageist. I'm not really ageist. I promise you, I'm not. I'm just a person that is. I'm a pro proponent of term limits. We have majority folks that are damn near 100 that are in Congress and Senate, and it's unfair. It's unfair the fact that they are still in power. Sometimes, and I kid you not, I sometimes think that they know that voters will say, okay, who's been the last person? They just say, oh, I know that name. He's been in every room. Let me just vote for that person. Let me just vote for that, rather than really doing the research. See, here, this is why I go after voters, y'all. We have got to keep our elected officials accountable. Meaning, if a person has been there for, I'm gonna say, more than at least 3 terms, and you have still asking questions, the same questions since day one, why you ain't never voted them out? Why haven't you voted them out? Now look, on a state level, state house representatives serve a 2-year term, okay? A 2-year term, and they recycle that every year, okay? So I get it. It might not, it's not always easy doing things in 2 years. It's easier to say, look, we tried in 4 years and then it didn't work out. The reason why I believe 4 years is always a solid good number, or at least I said 2 to 3 terms, 2 terms, depending on the position. So if you're in Congress, Senate, what's 4 year 4 year is in 1 term. So if you think of a business, think you're a business owner and you launched a business, you have in business a 4-year plan, which 4-year plan is like, okay, look, you have your name, you've launched, you this, you that, you've seen the ups and downs, you see what works, what doesn't work. Some people have even extended it, giving themselves a 7-year plan, because it takes a while for a business to truly start running itself, right? I don't care what business you have. It's never easy, and it's very rare seeing a business just automatically succeed in 2 years, and running itself in 2 years. If yours does, that's awesome. That's a great thing. But sometimes it takes some time. So I give the benefit of the doubt to folks in office that might say, "Hey, look, my term is just 2 years, so give me some time because it's gonna take a minute because you got to go literally uh for every single individual in office, or a member of whether it's Congress or Senate, they all have an obligation, right? So it takes some time. But I'm telling you, when I see folks that's been there for years, I spoke about a congresswoman out of DC, who was 88 years old and wanting to run like a 13th term. What? I'm trying so hard to say, to watch my tongue because I really want to cuss. Because I'm like, no, I don't want nobody working no 88 years old in nowhere. All right. Shoot. By the time you hit 72, you should be retired. Okay, or 70, because I know the retirement age always shoots up. But let me continue this article here. It says here the former president was speaking at the London's O2 Arena in a conversation with British historian David Olusunga. Obama spoke on aging world leaders and made a comment that could be perceived as a dig at President Donald Trump. He said it's fair to say that 80% of the world's problems involved old men hanging on who are afraid of death and insignificance, and they won't let go. He then went on to say they build pyramids and they put their names on everything and they get very anxious about it. Now that was definitely a dig to President Trump, but in addition to old guys not leaving, I also feel like that was addressed to his former VP Joe Biden. I truly believe so. Because here's the thing. If Obama was a good friend, Obama should have kept Joe accountable on saying, "Hey, look, just do this one term. And then you're going to move on. You're going to retire. And you are going to live happily ever after in Delaware with your family and your wife." Okay? Or your wife is your family. But you know what I mean. But instead, he didn't do that. And see, Obama is a person that's enjoying his post-political retirement. Him and Michelle, boy, don't they look good? They age like fine wine. I tell you, that's why it's the world misses them. And I don't get me wrong, Obama had some of his flaws in his administration with some of his policy. I didn't always agree with everything he had, but I agree most of the time with him. And on top of that, everything he did, guess what, y'all, was graceful. He did it with grace. He did not have everybody pulling their hair out when it was time for him to speak, unlike somebody else in office. It's like whenever he gets to that podium, you're like, oh, God. It's like everybody just ages bad. Like they just add like 10 more years. I'll be honest. Whenever I listen to our president speak, I feel like more grays start popping up for me, or I start thinning a little more. Like I'm telling you, he be stressing me out. Yeah, that's right. I said stressing. Don't judge me. Do not judge me. Because it's like I'm a person that respects office. I really do. And when the first time, or I'll just say for anybody that's in office, you give them the benefit of the doubt. They're like, hey, look, this is our president now. You got to respect the position. I want him to do good. I want him to stay safe. I want him to do what's right for all the people and not some people or a certain kind of people. I want him to do what's great for all of the American population. And we're not seeing that. We are not seeing that. The historian Osalunga added, history is not short of those figures, neither is the present. The critique is consistent with Obama's past comments. Back in 2019, he told a private audience in Singapore, he told an audience in Singapore that usually old people, usually old men, not getting out of the way, driving much of the world's dysfunction. Obama stressed that importance of remembering the political leaders are not there for life. You are not there in order to prop up your own sense of self-importance or your own power. The remarks came just days after Trump unveiled a presidential walk of fame. Really? A presidential walk of fame in the White House Rose Garden featuring a plaque for Obama and an auto pen photo for the former President Joe Biden. Obama then went on to criticize Trump for spreading misinformation by linking Tylenol use during pregnancy to autism, a claim repeatedly debunked by scientists. He warned that such rhetoric undermines public health, creates fear for parents of autistic children, and spreads what he called violence against truth. Lastly, it says here Obama cautioned against the rise of creeping authoritarian tendencies and narrowing of American founding ideal of we the people. He argued that democracy is threatened when only certain groups are seen as deserving full status and rights. Well said, well said, well said, well said, Mr. President. Now, let's bring it back to reality. I hope, even though he made a personal dig to Trump, I hope that every politician out there was listening and heard those comments, because that's saying they're going to do it because he said so. But I'm just saying that's what the majority of America has an issue with. They're like, look, you've been here in office way too long. Time for some new leadership. Time for some new leadership. And I get it. It's like, I would go, but y'all keep voting me in. Y'all keep voting me in. Well, you also have the right to not seek a re-election either. So you don't always gotta put it in the voters' hands. The voters are going to continue to build up the voting numbers, as well as it's up to elected officials to continue to build that trust factor. Build up that trust factor, because voters feel as though that so many promises have not been met. Okay, let me digress because I'm looking at my time. I'm running a little low. Very quickly here, y'all. Let's see, very quickly. So, former Missouri Congresswoman Cori Bush announced that she is making a political comeback. That is right. That is right. Let me go ahead and read you this article here. It's reported by Politico. Former Representative Cori Bush, Democrat out of Missouri, is making a play for her old St. Louis seat in Congress. She announced recently on X, a year after losing in a primary, in part due to her opposition to Israel. I quote, "I ran for Congress to change things for the regular people. I'm running again because St. Louis deserves leadership that doesn't wait for permission, doesn't answer a wealthy donors, and doesn't hide when things get tough." The former squad member spent 2 terms in Congress before being unseated in a messy Democratic primary by Representative Wesley Bell, who campaign was bankrolled by millions from pro-Israel groups, including $8 million from AIPAC. Okay, she was one of the 2 progressive Democrats to lose in the primaries against candidates backed by AIPAC. The other progressive Democrat was former Representative Jamal Bowen out of New York City, was beaten last year by Democrat George Latmire. Now, I'll be honest. I don't think she's going to win. And the reason is because the progressive left, or at least the far left leaning individuals, and again, she's a progressive left, so I wouldn't even say far left extremist, but she's the progressive left. It's iffy when it comes to voters, Democratic voters, that is. Progressive voters are not always well liked by the majority of Democratic voters. Hence why she did not win an election. Same why Jamal Bowen did not win. Now, I remember recently during their off season, during their post political careers, they both hosted together a podcast, I believe, on Zateo News, which is founded by Mehdi Hassan, a progressive political commentator. And so we now, the question is, is this the right call for her? Right. And I've shared before, she's only been out of office for 1 year. Okay. She stayed in the public eye with her podcast, and now she's coming back front and center because she's still very much involved and very much passionate about her community. But again, I look at strategy wise. I look at it's always very difficult for progressives to win and receive support in office. We see it firsthand with Zohran Mamdani, a mayoral candidate out of New York City, who is a progressive. He is a socialist, and he is. There are so many folks that are trying to make sure he does not get into office. I mean, so far that Trump is rooting for Andrew Cuomo to win. Trump is rooting for a Democrat. Trump was wanting to see the Republican Party wants to see the Republican nominee Curtis Sliwa to drop out the race, so it's just mainly between Andrew Cuomo and Zohran Mamdani, because if you look at polling, they are in the top two. Recently, the current mayor Eric Adams had dropped out of the race. So I say all that to say, you see what folks do to not get a progressive in office, and I've always been like, if so many tries to get you out of office, either that's a good or bad thing. That means they really think you're going to be a dangerous society, or they're like, oh my gosh, this would be a huge win for the left. They cannot get in office, yada yada yada. Now, one of my favorite political voices, Dr. Rashad Ritchie, has said it like this. He said, I'm a progressive because I believe in progress. Now, I thought that was very those some that made his party look really, really that was a good look for the progressives by him saying that, because it's like so many folks want to see progress. Right now, I've told you time and time again, I am an independent, proud to be an independent. I have conservative views, I have liberal views, so I speak with folks on all sides of the aisle. I have a lot of progressive friends that will probably say, no, this is a good look and she needs to be back, because she needs to be back in office, and they need to build back up the squad, the squad again. They need the squad around in this case, because one thing I'll give progressives credit, they have a backbone. Unlike the elites in the Democratic Party who does not, progressives have a backbone. Progressives are not scared or shy away to meet face to face with the extreme right. They're not at all whatsoever. I mean, you look at Jasmine Crockett, right? Progressive. You look at AOC, Ilmar, there's a few others. I mean, Maxine Waters is a progressive. She's not scared, and she's been doing it for so long, but she's definitely not scared. We have some progressive here in my home state of Virginia as well. And so we see good friend of the show, Conrad Shezventer, host of the political YouTube show Shez Who, is also a progressive. He was at the time a Republican. He was a former Republican, and now progressive. We see so many folks making the shift and making that adjustment. So I'm looking at my time here. We will continue to talk about the political comeback of Cori Bush. In addition to that, there's another person of Congress that is wanting to make a run in office, but this time in a different state. Interesting. We're going to talk about it next on the Arrington Gavin show, as well as we're going to talk about Sean D. Cohn, who was recently sentenced to 4 years in prison. So look, we're going to talk about it on our next show because we run out of time, y'all. But as always, stay blessed, stay informed, continue doing what's right. Look, we got some big elections happening, so if you haven't voted yet, please do so. That is your power. That is your voice. So please vote. Be sure to tune into the Arrington Gavin show, weeknights, available on all digital streaming platforms. Peace and blessings. I'm out.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official Substack for exclusive takes and deep dives you won't get anywhere else. We're here every weeknight, same time, same energy, same real talk. Until next time, stay bold, stay sharp, and stay true. That's what we do on the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.